welcome to SFF Book Recs. Today we're doing the Netflix tag that many other booktubers have done. I personally found this on Emily Fox's channel, and I've posted her video down below in the description, so you can go and see her video if you want. And I've also posted the questions down below, so you can go and see them. But let's get started. Question 1 is recently watched. Well, in this case, read, because it's a book. And for that, the most recent book that I read is Mark of the Demon by Cara Gillan. No, wait, by Diana Rowland. Cara Gillan is the series name and the name of the main character. And this is urban fantasy series with a police main character. She's also a demon summoner. So yeah, the book starts while she's. But yeah, the main plot of this book is a mystery, because, well, Cara is a police officer, and in their region there is a serial killer doing, well, on a killing spree, and he's torturing the victims, carving like marks into them, and there are occult signs in them, which Cara recognizes that, hey, these are related to summoning, so some kind of demon related thing. And when she starts looking into the case further, she discovers that it has like ties in somehow to her aunt Tessa, who taught her the craft of summoning. And yeah, so there, a murder mystery with some sexy demon seduction, and she also gets an FBI partner because, well, serial killer, and he's a pretty nice guy too. So yeah, that was the Mark of the Demon by Diana Rowland. And then on to the next prompt, which is called Top Picks. So this is a book recommended to you because you liked another book. And in this case, I picked like the book that I liked originally is Kate Daniels' series by Ilona Andrews. It's post-apocalyptic urban fantasy with kick-ass swordswoman Kate Daniels as the main lead. And I got this recommendation from Mara at Books Like Whoa, who Ilona Andrews happens to be also her favorite author. And she recommended Recebba Roanhorse's Trail of Lightning and said that this is the closest to Kate Daniels' books that she has found, and lo and behold, so they were. So Recebba Roanhorse's books are drawing from Navajo or Dine culture, which is her husband's culture. These are also post-apocalyptic books, or the setting is post-apocalyptic. There has been a flood, and basically large parts of America are underwater right now. And but their reservation was on a higher ground, so it survived. And yeah, also there's similarities between the main characters. Maggie Hosky and Kate Daniels, they're both a bit loners and good with sword, and they're monster hunters. So yeah, similarities in setting, in main characters, in writing style, in using mythology in like new and creative ways that we haven't seen that much in urban fantasy. So yeah, that was my top picks. Then on to next prompt, which is recently added. So this is the last book you bought. I actually, but the book that I'm showing to you is A Wind in Cairo by Judith Tarr. This is an older book. When was this published? 1989. So old book indeed. And basically this is basically historical fantasy. It's set to ancient Egypt, and the main character is this kind of Hassan, a spoiled prince who offends a magus who turns him into a horse. So yeah, I guess Hassan is the horse in the cover there. Interested? This is a really short one. It's like 228 pages. So that'll be a quick read someday. But yeah, that was my most recently bought. I also bought 2 SAGA comic books, but they will be coming up in a later prompt, so you will see them then. Then there's the fourth prompt is popular on Netflix, and this is you're supposed to talk about a book that is popular, but you haven't read it yet. For this one, I have The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. There, and well, this is kind of like historical. It's drawing from China, and the bloodbath of Nanking, what happened there, and that's one of the inspirations. And the main character is called Rin, and she goes to this military school, and her character is based on Mao Zedong, so Chairman Mao. So this is a trilogy, and it's some pretty grim things are happening, and war is not pretty. There is what happened in Nanking was that there was a mass rape. So yeah, I've been a bit waiting for the right kind of mood to read that book, because I think that it's going to be a bit grim, but very likely like excellent read. Like I've seen lots of praise for this book, and many booktubers have really liked this one. Okay, but that was the popular on Netflix, and then we have comedy, so a funny book. And for this one I of course chose Discworld by Terry Pratchett. And yeah, Discworld, man, what can I say if you haven't heard about it? It's a world floating in space on top of, wait a minute, it's a turtle floating on space, or the world is floating on top of a turtle who is floating on top of 4 elephants. And the city is Ankh-Morpork, and there are many different series, like series within the Discworld. Like there are 40 books or even more in the series, but they are like divided into these loosely connected books, so you can basically pick up any book at any point, but there is some kind of continuity and same characters from book to book. For example, there is the Night Watch, who are the watchmen of the guard of the city. There are the witches, and then there is the Death series, and Rincewind, who is a wizard, and then there's a conman called Moist von Lipwick, who's an excellent rogue character. So yeah, if you would like to start with this wonderful satirical fantasy series, which is like tackling deep themes, but with very light and comedic touch, then I recommend you to check out Daniel Green's video, which I'm linking down below, where he talks about where to get started with this wonderful series. But yeah, that was my comedic pick. Then the next prompt is drama, and this is the prompt is to talk about a character who is a drama king or drama queen. And honestly, I drew blank. I mean, I suppose I do know some, have read some angsty and dramatic romances, but honestly, I just can't remember any. So, so for this one, I'm just going with a book that has some inbuilt angst. It's a fantasy romance called Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen, and this is a duology. And in the first book, a princess called Lara, who has been is sent to a neighboring kingdom to marry the prince. Basically, they've been promised to each other since childhood, and yeah, and she has been training since childhood to become an assassin and a spy. So when she goes to marry the prince, she will either kill him or try to kill him, or try to get some intelligence so that she can then bring back to her own country, and they can try an invasion, because this bridge kingdom that the other kingdom controls, it connects to two continents or land masses, and basically the sea is very stormy. There are like tropical hurricanes and such. So the bridge is the only way to do trade, and well, all the kingdoms would like to have access to the bridge. But yeah, that is the drama pick, the Bridge Kingdom. And then the next prompt is animated cover. Well, I mentioned previously that I bought the SAGA comics, so these are the ones I'm going to be showing to you. And here we have this is the first one. These are Marco and Ilona and their baby Hazel, and these are like these are set to space, so they're kind of like sci-fi, and Marco and Ilona, they are from different alien species who are warring between each other, and Marco was taken as a prisoner and put into a war camp, where Ilona was a guard, and they fell in love and ran away. And like their governments don't like this because Ilona is pregnant, and they have been spreading propaganda that these two species can't have viable offspring. So baby Hazel is a threat to the governments, and they have sent bounty hunters after them, and also Marco's parents and ex-girlfriend are after them. So all kind of adventures ensue as they try to get away from the planet and to evade their captors. But yeah, highly recommend. Saga is it has great moments of humor, and the art is really beautiful. I can put from the inside. Okay, and then on to the next prompt, which is watch again. So this is basically a book you would like to reread, and for me that book is Ilona Andrews' Innkeeper Chronicle, which is a mix of urban fantasy and light sci-fi. So basically, in this world, there is an inn which is magical, and this is located in rural Texas, small town, and secretly this inn is hosting aliens who are coming to Earth on secret. And there are many different kind of alien species. Some who we meet are space werewolves, space vampires, and when Dina goes to this kind of galactic bazaar, we meet a creature called Lees, who are these kind of cute little kimono mini, kind of like fox-like creature who is a cunning merchant. But yeah, and also the inn. But yeah, this is like there's great banter, moments of levity. These aren't very long books. They are about 300 pages or even less. And there are 4 books out so far, and few novellas. So highly recommend. Very, very funny series, and it has the trademark Ilona Andrews humor and great action that they can write. Okay, but that was the watch again prompt, and then we have documentaries. So this is a non-fiction book that you think everyone should read, and for this one I'm going to say Trevor Noah's Born a Crime, which is telling about his childhood. I think it's in 70s, South Africa, while apartheid was still in effect. So it's a book talking about racism. It's like his memoir, so telling about his life while growing up. He's a comedian, so this is like, even though it talks about really like tough topics about racism, he manages to make it so funny. Like every chapter focuses on specific part of his life, like maybe like part of like a period of his life, like school, specific era of school, or then he's talking about his family, or about his father. He's biracial, so his father was white, and his mother was black, and that's where the name comes from. It was literally like a crime to give birth to a mixed race child. So basically, when she was out with her mother, they often took with them a friend who was herself mixed race. So Trevor would walk with this woman, and her mother would walk behind them and pretend to be the servant, so that no one would guess that she's actually the mother of Trevor, and they would get in trouble. But yeah, it's a tough book, but it's also like really touching and also really funny. One of the best books I've read this year, and maybe in my lifetime, highly. But yeah, then the next one is action and adventure. So recommend a book with lots of those elements. So for this one, I've picked up Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. This is a, if you know what D&D is, it's it's a D&D like romp, fantasy romp, where an old band of adventurers, they're about in their 50s, they get back together after settling down. Like the main character Clay, he has a family of his own, a wife and a daughter, but the former leader of the band comes in and asks for help with his own daughter, who is already an adult. She needs their help. She needs rescuing. So they get the old gang back together, and off they go to rescue Rose. But yeah, this is but yeah, it's a standalone book, and so you won't be committing to a huge series to get a fun or fantasy adventure. Oh, and there are a lot of band references, like the writer really liked old rock bands of 70s and 80s, and so there are like lots of Easter eggs and references to old bands. And bands are basically analog for adventurers. You will see this if you read the book, and I recommend that you do. It's a fun one. But yeah, and then prompt number 11, new releases. So basically, this is a book that's coming out in recent months, and that I really want to read. I already mentioned 3 books coming out in June in my Olympics readathon, the June TBR video. So if you wanna take a look, you will find 3 books there. And another June release is The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. This is also inspired by India, Indian epics, and the main character is a vengeful princess who has been imprisoned by her brother, and she has a servant as a companion, and there is an female relationship, so LGBTQ plus representation. But yeah, I've heard so many good things about her first series that I definitely want to read this one eventually. Might start with this one or the first duology she has written. But yeah, sounds like a great book. Okay, and then on to, that was actually the last prompt. So we are done with this tag. If you have your own channel, then consider yourself tagged and join the fun and do a similar video. But thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.